Last time on Casino Royale with cheese.
But anyway, I went to a piano camp, which very few people know about.
No one gets laid at that camp.
I don't think so. No. They're believably...
It's a bunch of awkward boys and a couple awkward girls.
There wasn't any of that frisky stuff.
No flutes
really
and any
going on.
orifices.
At least that I knew of, you know. I mean, I was in like 9th grade, but I wasn't going to talk to any girls, dude. I was, you know?
I'm here to play my piano.
Right? I just want to play the piano and not look at anybody. So...
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent breed is people!
Yo, accident! Accident!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too. Gorilla.
Coming to you live from our studios somewhere in the jungles of Africa, it's Casino Royale with Cheese, starring your host, who looks a whole lot like Kerchak's ass, Shane Burns.
Thank you, everybody. This is Casino Royale with Cheese, the internet show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane, and today I'm joined by the man who acts as though he was raised by apes. This is Mike.
What's up, y'all?
Not much, dude. How's it going?
Happy Father's Day, fucker.
Happy Father's Day, Mike.
I already broke my own rule. I was going to see if we could keep this PG since we're talking about a Disney film, and I've already cussed twice.
I'm surprised that I haven't gone down that road yet. That's pretty cool. So, whatever.
We're only 35 seconds into this shit.
Yeah. We got a little ways to go. Anyway, it was a busy Father's Day, so I'll tell you that. Oh my gosh, dude. Because my folks were coming over for dinner, and so there was that. And of course, I had to clean out my car because me and the wife were getting ready to go doing some traveling abroad for a few days. And
Bragging about going to Mexico, Shane?
Yeah. Now, we're not taking my car to Mexico, mind you, but, you know, my wife thought that it would be nice to have something to go to and from the airport and that was somewhat clean. So it was a busy day, man. I had to get a couple last minute things. So all in all, not bad though. Pretty awesome.
Cool. I had breakfast in bed.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Farrah was very excited about that.
I
She
bet.
actually ate in bed with me. She was pumped. And then it was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then me and her went to a park.
Oh.
We have a nature park here by the house where you get to go on like trails and see animals and shit.
Okay.
And we love it. It's fun. And then after that, I went and signed my soul away to CrossFit and boot camp classes.
Oh, goodness. When did those start?
Mañana.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
No, man. I'm tired of looking like an old man.
I've embraced it. I jumped in with both feet. So. But, yeah. So, aside from that, things are going pretty well, man. What do we...
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah, all you good dads out there. Way to go. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah. If you're involved in your kid's life, you're winning, brother.
Yep, that's good stuff. What are we talking about today, Mike? For our Father's Day episode where it's laced with your profanity.
Talking about MF and Tarzan. like that?
That's hilarious. Yeah, we're talking about Tarzan, Disney's take on the character.
Yes, indeed.
I'll tell you what. So I mentioned to Mike right before we started recording this that I had some interesting stuff that I was going to talk about. And that is the history of Tarzan in film, because this fucking thing is out of control, dude.
Lay it on me, bro.
Well, so Tarzan seems to be one of those series that they try to breathe new life into it every so often nowadays. I think that it must be like a public domain thing. But every so often you'll see like a new Tarzan, just like you'll see like a new King Arthur pop up or a new Robin Hood. Like every, I would say 5 years, they'll try to do like a new take on the character. And, but used to back in the day, they made these fucking movies like crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So Tarzan originated in 1912 in the form of a book series by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Okay. And he wrote the books all the way until 1965, which is pretty crazy.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's 53 years of writing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really quick mathing, by the way, there, Mike. So,
thanks, bud.
Yeah. What's 65 minus 12? Yeah. Not that fucking hard, but...
I'm pretty good at that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right off the cuff. Yeah. Well, Mike hangs out with a lot of high school kids, so...
Yeah, we do maths and stuff.
Right. But he altogether wrote 24 entries into the series. And
that's like one every 2 years. Ooh, got you again.
Basically, yeah. Essentially, it's close to it.
I'm so amusing myself.
So what's interesting, though, is I tried to look in a couple of different places at a comprehensive list of all the films that are included in the Tarzan filmography, and I wound up defaulting to the IMDb list of Edgar Rice Burroughs Tarzan movies, films that he's credited for having Tarzan in his affiliation somehow. That was a way weird sentence right there, but
yeah, it made no sense.
It kind of did when I was thinking of it, but no, that one fell apart somewhere along the way. So anyway, let's go through and talk about all these fucking Tarzan movies. Now keep in mind...
Oh yeah, let's talk about all 24 entries, please.
Oh, those are just the books. There's way more movies than that. So...
what the beep?
Yeah, for real, dude. It is no joke. Okay. So keeping this in mind is... I was originally looking at a different list that I thought might have a little bit more going on with it, but I defaulted to the IMDb one just because it's owned by Amazon, so they have more resources to like pull together a list, basically. But there is a very distinct notability or discrepancy in here, I guess would be a better term. But that would be that I did not see the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Hercules in New York listed on the IMDb one or this other list that I was looking at. So
Hercules and
or not Hercules. Oh, wait, which one am I thinking of? Because there's one that came out in 19. Wait. Now I gotta look it up. I'm all fucked up. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, Mike, talk about something real quick. Yep, no, you're right. Never mind. So yeah, this should be a complete list then, for what I gather.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh yeah, it starts in 1918 with The Romance of Tarzan. The same year, we also had Tarzan of the Apes that came out. The following year, 1919, 2 years later, 1920, The Son of Tarzan. Also in 1920, The Revenge of Tarzan. The following year, Adventures of Tarzan, 1921. We took a little break. 1927 came around, and we got to Tarzan and the Golden Lion. The following year... These titles get pretty strange after a while. So far, we're okay. We're still doing jungle shit with Tarzan. Got you. Tracking. The following year, 1928, Tarzan the Mighty. 1929, Tarzan the Tiger. 3 years later, in 1932, Tarzan the Ape Man. The following year, 1933, Tarzan the Fearless. 1934, Tarzan and His Mate. 1935, The New Adventures of Tarzan. 1936, The Lion Man. I don't know if that's Tarzan or not. Probably not.
Rare.
Anyway, in 1936, along with that, was Tarzan Escapes. 1938, 2 years later, we had Tarzan's Revenge and Tarzan and the Green Goddess.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can't miss that one.
It's classic. Have you ever heard of any of these, Mike, by the way?
No, dude.
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah, nobody has any clue. 1939, Tarzan Finds a Son, which is a pretty weird title.
He found him?
Well, I think that just the title alone, it wasn't Tarzan Finds a Boy, it's Tarzan Finds a Son. Well, it's obviously not his son, because he doesn't know this kid exists, because he just found him. So whose fucking son is
found
this?
to be safe, to be fair, he was found.
I think it should be Tarzan Finds Out he has a son. We got a little Maury Povich
Tarzan
going.
finds a Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan finds out Tarzan Jr. But anyway, the following
Tarzan and Jane did it.
Yeah. Well, of course. Duh. I mean, it's Minnie Driver's voice, but Tarzan's Secret Treasure, 1941. We had Tarzan's New York Adventure in 1942. Tarzan's Desert Mystery, 1943. Same year, Tarzan Triumphs. We've got Tarzan and the Amazons in 1945. 1946, Tarzan and the Leopard Woman. Tarzan and the Huntress in 1947. This is when they started pumping them out about every year. So these are 48, 49, and 50. Tarzan and the Mermaids, Tarzan's Magic Fountain, Tarzan and the Slave Girl.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So this one I
Different world,
find,
my friend.
here's kind of where I'm going down this road, okay? Is whenever the Tarzan titles get a little bit more supernatural, like Tarzan and the Mermaids, to me that sounds pretty cool, Like we got some supernatural fantasy shit going on.
Some fin action.
Well, I mean, not even necessarily that so much, but it's a
Sure.
I mean, it's just a scenario where now we're doing some underwater shit. It's not just swinging from vines all the time.
We're doing some underwater shit, Shane.
Yeah,
That's it.
There you go. I don't know so much about Tarzan's Magic Fountain, much less his slave girl.
The mermaids do.
Yeah, I guess so.
They know all about his magic fountain.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once again. I guess he had more than enough for Jane, too. He had plenty for the fish.
He sure did.
Yes. 51, we had Tarzan's Peril. 52, Tarzan's Savage Fury.
Oh, you're still going.
Oh, yeah. It don't stop, dude. 1952, same year, Tarzan in Istanbul. 1953, Tarzan... What's weird, dude, is I believe that there is a foreign film that is also a Tarzan in Istanbul movie. And so there's two different Tarzans going to Istanbul, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's only enough room for one Tarzan in Istanbul.
Maybe it's like an alternate universe type deal where,
Let's hope.
Infinite Earths sort of thing. Tarzan and the She-Devil, 1953.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Tarzan's Hidden Jungle, 1955.
These titles are great, dude.
I like Tarzan's Hidden Jungle because I think that's underneath the loincloth.
For sure.
Yeah. He's got a thicket,
that dude does no manscaping.
Dude, that's what I always wondered is, why doesn't anybody ever depict this guy as having facial hair? I don't get it, man. But whatever. You'd think he would be
body hair.
bearded like crazy. Yeah. I don't know. Tarzan and the Lost Safari, 1957. Here we go. Tarzan's Fight for Life, 1958. It sounds like Tarzan showed up at an abortion protest rally or something. Tarzan the Ape Man, 1959. Tarzan's Greatest Adventure, 1959. Tarzan the Magnificent, 1960. Tarzan and the Trappers, 1960. That was made for TV, so you know that one's good.
Of course.
Tarzan Goes to India, 1962. So it took a 2-year hiatus here.
He's a world traveler.
Mm-hmm.
That Tarzan.
He's been all around, dude. That ain't no joke.
That Tarzan's a traveling mofo.
But it's about this time they started ramping him back up here. So we got Tarzan's 3 challenges. I don't really know if I'm necessarily that interested in watching that movie based upon the title of it. I don't know.
Okay, next.
I just don't care about his 3 challenges. Tarzan in the Valley of Gold. I could get into that. That might be pretty cool. And then he'd be rich. Well, but then again, does gold have any value out here in the jungle? You know?
Nope.
Tarzan's Jungle Rebellion. Tarzan and the Great River. That to me sounds like one of those crappy made for video Land Before Time sequels. So Tarzan 1966, there was a TV series. Tarzan and the Jungle Boy, 1968. Tarzan's Deadly Silence was in 1970. Tarzan.
Silent but deadly.
Silent but Deadly. Oh, yeah?
So,
That's pretty funny. Didn't even think about it, but yeah. That's amusing, Mike. Good one. Congratulations.
Thanks, bud. I'm on a roll.
Yes, sir. Tarzan in King Solomon's Mines, 1974. Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle was a 1976 TV series.
I think I've seen a couple of those.
Here's one that you might have actually seen. Apparently they had, and this looks like an old crappy Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but it's the Tarzan Lone Ranger Zorro Adventure Hour was a 1980s TV series. It was a cartoon show, so you might have remembered.
That's hilarious.
But anyway.
Let's just mash up all of our properties together.
Yeah, just get them all going. So that was that in 1980. Tarzan the Ape Man in 81 was a movie. Apparently 1984 brought about Greystroke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. Fucking horrible movie title, but whatever.
The name is called Greystroke?
Greystroke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty stupid. Tarzan in Manhattan was a 1989 TV movie. Tarzan, it looks like, was a Hispanic Tarzan thing in 1991, like a TV show. There's a little accent over the A, which is why I pronounced it like that. Hopefully,
okay, good job.
that came across in that way.
Oh, it came across all right.
Oh no, well, that's real bad. I would say we're gonna get demonetized, but we ain't getting paid. So, Tarzan: The Epic Adventures, 1996 TV series. There was a 1998 cartoon video, or I guess straight to video, was Tarzan of the Apes. Tarzan Lost City was 1998. Tarzan Activity Center was a video game. Then this came out in 99, 2001.
99.
It just goes on and on, but we're almost done. So I might as well finish.
Because we're at 13 minutes of you listing shows, Shane.
The Legend of Tarzan, 2001 TV series. There was a follow-up to this movie with Tarzan and Jane. Remember when Disney was doing all those crappy made-for-video sequels to all their old properties? Yeah. Like Bambi 2. What the fuck? Who could possibly care? The worst of the bunch, in my opinion, was remember The Fox and the Hound? Well, they came out with the second one where like they joined a rock band whenever they were still adolescent.
Nice.
Talk about completely missing the point of that entire situation. But Tarzan was a 2003 TV series for 7 episodes. Way to go, guys.
Call that a mini series.
Right. Tarzan 2 was a sequel to this one as well. It came out straight to video in 2005 from Disney. And we're on the last page. So I guess there was a 2013 Tarzan movie. I didn't know about it. The Legend of Tarzan.
It was a live action.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I do kind of remember that actually.
Did
you watch
starred
it?
The guy from True Blood.
Oh, really?
The pretty Viking looking dude.
Sarsgaard, the guy that hung out at the vampire bar all the time?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Did you watch it?
I'm sure I saw it.
Oh. Well, you wouldn't remember if it was any good then. So, I guess there was The Legend of Tarzan.
It was kind of like a Tarzan Goes to London.
Oh. Well, that's not that cool.
No.
Oh, well. Legend of Tarzan came out in 2016, and then 2 years ago, in 2017, I guess Netflix did a Tarzan and Jane cartoon. And I
think The Legend of Tarzan was in 2016. I think that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I think that you're probably right. Yeah. But see, like I said, though, it seems like I don't know what it is about, it seems like King Arthur, Robin Hood, and fucking Tarzan, that they want to keep trying to redo it every couple years. This seems
They're
really
romantic ass stories, dude.
Well, they're just kind of classic stories, and I think that the people assume that there's like a built-in audience for it, but I don't think there necessarily is. You know, I don't know the last time one of those movies was super profitable.
So, have you ever heard the theory that Tarzan is the brother to the woman in Frozen?
I believe so, because I know that don't their parents, Anna and Elsa, don't their parents like take off on a boat and just like never come back, and people suppose that they like crashed and washed up on this island.
Right.
That's yeah. I've heard that. I think that that's plausible. There's a lot of weird theories out there that, like all the theory that all the Pixar movies all take place in the same universe. You know.
Yeah, and that's where I'm getting this from. It's from the Disney Pixar theory. Shout out to the Super Carlin brothers on YouTube.
There you go.
That's who I got that idea from. But it's a compelling case.
I hear you. It's not unreasonable. I think that it would be a very weird idea to tie the two in together since they're two completely different styles of animation, but that's okay. What's your experience with this movie, Mike? Have you seen it before?
I've only seen it maybe, I don't know, a couple dozen times.
Couple dozen.
I do have an almost 6-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I do happen to own this movie.
Yeah, we also have a copy. I had actually never seen this movie until...
What?
Yeah, until, I guess, probably right before... Well, so right before our daughter was born, me and the wife for Christmas were, like, stocking up and just, like, buying each other a shit ton of Disney movies. Because we wanted to make sure that our daughter had a wide variety of shit to watch that was Disney-related. And this happened to be one of them, and so I just popped it in one day. And was super surprised at how much I enjoyed this thing, man. And this is only, like 4 years ago, 4.5, whatever.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Man. Anyway, do you want to do like a cast list, Mike?
Let's do it.
Okay. We can do that real quick here. So the voice of Tarzan is Tony Goldwyn. Whoever that is, I don't know.
Yep.
Minnie Driver plays Jane. Glenn Close plays Kala. Brian Blessed plays Clayton. We also had Nigel Hawthorne playing Professor Porter. And Lance Henriksen playing the voice of Kerchak. Now what's funny...
Are you done?
I think so. What's funny about that, though, is whenever I was looking at the... we got Rosie O'Donnell in there, too.
There you go.
Yeah. She was like the big deal that was in this. Kind of For all
It
these
was a
movies,
big deal that she was in this.
Right. Disney would usually have like a comedian in their 90s movies. And so that happened to be her in this. So but no, I thought that it was interesting cuz I didn't recognize that being Lance Henriksen at first. I was thinking that it was the dad from Dexter, and then I looked at the cast list and it was not. So anyway, let's look at numbers real quick,
All right.
if you would like.
Yes, of course.
If you
That's what we're
care.
here for.
Yeah. This movie was made on a budget of $130 million.
Holy shit.
Pretty big budget. Pretty big budget. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a lot of money for a cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Do you dare to guess how many weeks it was number one, Mike?
I do dare, and it was 1.
It was one. You are correct, sir.
Yep.
And to follow along with that, how much money do you think it brought in the U.S. overall?
Well, it was a Disney animated movie, so it made probably like $500 million.
In the U.S.?
Yeah.
Nope. You are not correct, sir.
Oh.
It was
wrong again.
$171 million, just over.
Ooh.
So it was not doing too well.
Not for the budget.
Yeah. It went on to make a profit because overseas included, it brought in a total of $448 million. So,
Holy. See, I was close.
yeah, well, that's international numbers too. But you were close once you factor those in. So, well done, Mike.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here all day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good at that. But you have to keep in mind, though, so whenever we're talking about the time frame that this movie came out in, this was post the Disney Renaissance. So keep in mind,
Right.
yeah, the Disney Renaissance would have started with The Little Mermaid, and in my opinion, ended with The Lion King. And so, obviously, before The Little Mermaid was a bunch of shit. The movie that came out right before The Little Mermaid was Oliver and Company, so nobody remembered that fucking shit. And they
Right.
kept doing weird shit like The Great Mouse Detective and fucking The Black Cauldron. You know, like, nobody wants to watch this crap, you know?
Right.
And so, like, a lot of these movies I've never heard of, you know, or never had any desire to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is before the purchase of Pixar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, in 1999, Pixar was a thing, obviously.
Yeah, no, but Disney didn't own it.
Right. Yeah, they did not own Pixar. They were distributors of Pixar films, but they did not own them. And once again, and I think I mentioned it on here before, but this is kind of a dark time for Disney because I think Pocahontas kind of underperformed. I remember seeing it myself, but a lot of people were really disappointed by it. And a lot of people were at an age...
Despite Vanessa Williams' best efforts.
Yeah, it really was her best effort. And I mean, I've tried to watch that movie since, and it's just not interesting to me, unfortunately. But what's crazy about that, though, is that I think that a lot of people were kind of like me, where if Pocahontas had been, you know, a really great movie, then they might have, or I myself might have stuck around for maybe another movie or two, possibly. But I was at an age where Disney kind of wasn't, you know, like when you're a 13-year-old boy, you don't really sit around and watch Disney movies all that much. So, you know,
Right.
the Pocahontas was kind of a deal breaker for me. So I never watched. I mean, you know, you can even tell when looking at it that like shit like Mulan was done pretty much on the cheap at the time because you're trying to stay to a budget. So,
Emperor's New Groove and shit like that.
yeah. And so, yeah, like I mentioned before, they all were almost bought by Comcast back in the day, which is crazy to think about because they have so much money going on nowadays. But that's kind of the way things were back then. Mike, I didn't have a chance to write a summary this week, as we talked about off air. So you're going to spearhead this week's, is that correct?
That's right.
Well, let's hear what
First-
you got.
A first for you folks.
Oh, boy.
This is my summary of Tarzan. A couple rich white folks crash on an island that appears to look a lot like Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They shack up and build themselves a treehouse, which is later torn down by a jaguar, killing the parents in the while he's doing it. He's fucking stuff up. And then there's a baby.
When you mean
And
shacking up, he doesn't mean living in sin. Like they built a shack.
Yeah, they built a shack. And then there's a gorilla clan that's, going around, and they have a baby, and the jaguar kills that baby. So the mama gorilla, she's real sad and stuff, and then she hears the baby crying. So she decides to go investigate and finds a human baby. And then when she finds this human baby, she decides that it'll be her baby and outwits a jaguar to get the baby away. She then goes to her head silverback gorilla, Kerchak, and bad self. And she says, "This could be my baby." He says, "No, it's not." She says, "Yes, I am." And then so she gets to keep the baby. And then they make friends with elephants. And there's a really mouthy gorilla voiced by Rosie O'Donnell. I can't help but think about A League of Her Own whenever I think about Rosie O'Donnell. And then, we watch him grow up. And then he meets this broad from London. And she's classy and pretty and all that good stuff. And along with her is her goofy, well-intended father, along with a murderous piece of shit hunter. And so, they hang out with them for a bit, and Tarzan gets a little, education about being a human. He's actually a quick learner. He, picks up on all kinds of stuff real fast. Right. And Jane's a hell of an artist. She can draw just about anything, to include an exact representation of Tarzan. Clayton and Jane talk Tarzan into leading to his gorilla clan. And, hell breaks loose. They end up on a ship. They break out. They fight. Clayton hangs from a tree, which was my first memory of a villain dying in a Disney film. And then, they live happily ever after.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my summary.
They sure did. Good job, Mike. I'm impressed. Thanks. And he had no time to prepare that, so that's excellent work. I don't remember the first time I remember seeing a Disney villain die. That's an interesting question, man.
That's the first time I remember seeing it.
Well, I'm trying to think back to early Disney stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Good question.
I didn't ask a question.
Oh, no, I was just thinking, I guess I kind of asked myself. So overall, I guess some of my takeaways in regard to this movie are, first off, I really like Phil Collins.
Phil Collins is awesome. That's my first note.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And I know
his soundtrack makes this movie.
I kind of agree. I kind of tend to agree. What's funny about it is a lot of people online will talk shit about Phil Collins, but I am pretty unapologetic. I like Genesis, but I love his solo stuff, and I like this soundtrack, and I have no guilt whatsoever. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I also wrote down that I really would like to see a leopard versus a gorilla, because I think
like in real life,
yeah, because gorillas are fucking strong, bro.
You know what's crazy about gorillas? They're 100% vegetarian.
Yes,
and they're jacked.
Oh yeah, it's weird that they get all that nutrients from just vegetables and not like protein.
Like mostly leaves and shit.
Yeah, I mean there is some fruit, but yeah.
Like chimpanzees, they're jacked. They're not nearly as big as gorillas, but they're omnivores. Like they eat meat and shit too. But gorillas are strictly vegetarian. Like those giant fangs they have are just for fighting each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If I got into a fight with a chimpanzee, I would probably still lose. Like they're fucking strong too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he'd rip your fucking arms off.
Yeah. But a gorilla
You know
is
what they
way
go for,
stronger.
don't
than
you?
What is it?
If you fought a chimp like in nature, you know what the first thing they go for is?
What's that?
Your genitalia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they rip it right off.
Oh, shit.
Because you can't compete to mate if you don't have junk.
Oh, yeah. Might probably tear right off, too. That would suck.
Oh, for sure.
For sure,
We're
for
fragile
sure.
as fuck, dude.
Oh,
We're like made of paper mache compared to those creatures.
I think they did a good job in this movie. So I think that there's all these different elements to the movie that kind of come together to make this thing better than it really is. But I will say that I think the animation is pretty phenomenal in this movie, Mike.
I actually glad you said that because one of my notes is the animation is awesome.
It's pretty great. Yeah. This is a good looking movie.
It's a really good looking movie, especially when you consider that it was made 20 years ago. Like, they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I agree. I actually kind of miss the traditional hand animation. It's something that I really kind of wish we saw more of. But,
It's so clean
yeah.
in this movie.
It is. And it feels as though a lot more talent went into it. You know, something tangible as opposed to something that's on a, hard drive somewhere. So, I guess. I think that it's cool in this that with Tarzan being a cartoon that we actually got to see some really cool stunts. And we got to see him like sliding down branches and stuff like that instead of just him swinging on a vine,
One of the things I really like about the animation in this film, especially the way they represent Tarzan, is that his toes are splayed.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which 100% would be the case.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you can look up the native people of like Peru and stuff like that don't wear shoes and climb over rocky surfaces and trees and stuff like that. And they have splayed out toes just like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their toes look more like chimpanzee feet than ours do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating to know. Good info, Mike.
So I do.
I don't know that much about the feet of other places.
I know a lot of worthless shit about a lot of
I
things.
guess so. Case in point right there. But, so we see Tarzan, go through early on in this movie. And he's actually he's trying to get the hair off of the elephant. And he hops down in the water, and there's these hippos down there. And dude, from what I understand, hippos are super dangerous.
They're
crazy.
the most dangerous animal in Africa.
That's what I've heard. Cause,
they kill more people than any other animal in Africa.
Really?
Every year.
Is it just from stampeding their asses, or what?
No. They're very aggressive.
Oh, really? I heard they're also really stupid, though, too. So
I don't know about their intelligence, but I know they'll fuck you up.
They will fuck you up, from my understanding. But, yeah. So, oh well. I don't know. I thought that Clayton, the big bad of the movie, was kind of lame. I feel like overall this movie doesn't really tell any sort of story that you haven't seen before. But like I said, there's certain things that elevate it, such as the animation being so great and the Phil Collins score. All of the music that he brings to the table is really great here. And so other elements make it memorable. But from a storytelling standpoint, not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny how, there's a reveal that Clayton's a bad guy. We didn't already know that.
Yeah. I can see it a mile away. A way better reveal is in a movie you already mentioned, but that's Frozen. And they kind of take the whole princess falling in love immediately thing and turn it on its head and play it for a plot twist. So, but here it's, they broadcast it. It's nuts. But
yeah. Are you surprised by the fact that Tarzan is completely smitten by Jane?
not at all.
No.
The first girl that you ever see, I would be in love, man. Crazy.
And she's drawn like Jane?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I always like Minnie Driver too. I remember seeing her in the movie GoldenEye, and she's supposed to be this Russian mafia boss's wife, and she's singing "Stand by Your Man" horribly. And Pierce Brosnan says, "Who's killing the cat?" The mob boss just like shoots at him. That's pretty funny, but yeah. But no, Jane's great. I mean, she's on a very, very. I can see why Tarzan would be smitten with her. I don't find either one of them particularly interesting. Probably about as much as I do like Aladdin and Jasmine, I would say. Clayton doesn't do much for me. But except the only difference is there's really nothing as good as like the genie in this movie. So.
Oh, yeah. I guess the Rosie O'Donnell gorilla was supposed to be our genie.
Yeah, I guess so. I do kind of like the little gorilla musical number that we get.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because that's my wife's favorite part of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they like fuck up the Humans camp
Yeah.
and they like do a song. Yeah, she loves that part.
Yeah, they're just going through all their shit and making an instrument, basically.
It was just breaking plates and shit.
Yeah. That's probably one of the better parts of the film.
Speaking of that scene, did you catch the Easter egg for Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, Chip was down there, wasn't he? And Mrs. Potts?
Well, the whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat deal. But, I don't know.
A little callback.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know what there is to say about this movie. I do think that it's cool. I guess this is the film that Disney had mastered this software that they'd been working on where they could perfectly blend like hand animation and computer generated animation. And so they're able to incorporate a lot of stuff with like the big boats and shit like that in here because of it, which is cool.
It's beautifully drawn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the movies.
We already covered
Like I said, it's great
that
looking.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really pretty movie.
Mm-hmm.
The story, it's classic. It's quaint. It's to the point.
Yeah. If you don't know anything about Tarzan, I guess it's cool. It tells you some shit. But
Or you've been sleeping under a rock.
yeah. That's what I felt like when I saw this for the first time like 4 years ago. So final thoughts?
There is a scene, there's a couple scenes that I call into question. Tarzan fighting the jaguar. Tarzan would get ripped to shreds.
Oh, yeah.
Tarzan fighting Kerchak, the silverback.
Right.
He would have got jacked up.
You think Kerchak would have?
No, Tarzan would have.
Oh, Tarzan, yeah.
He was,
No, you're right. Absolutely.
I don't care how he was raised.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't outdo the physical strength that those animals have.
Right. Agreed.
No matter how determined you are.
Yeah.
If you don't have a weapon, you're assed out, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a wrap. Pretty much. Who do you think would win in a leopard versus gorilla fight? Because the leopard's got him beat on speed. But a gorilla's going to be way stronger. All he has to do is get a hold of him.
That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
But I will be Googling that after this is over.
That's funny. That's funny stuff. Yeah. No, I agree with pretty much everything you said. This movie's fine.
All right, listen, folks. If you're looking for us to give you an in-depth review of Tarzan, you're in the wrong place.
It's a good-looking movie, and it's not a waste of time. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty good.
With the killer soundtrack.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on the matter, really. I'm sorry. I don't really care that much about Tarzan, unfortunately, but
That's great.
yeah.
That's how I felt in so many of your picks.
I bet you were super glad whenever we stopped going over every plot point, because Star Trek V was like torture for you, man.
Oh, I had a
that
gun in my
entire
mouth.
movie. Oh man, it's pretty funny. Mike, did you watch anything this week by chance?
Well, the new episodes of Handmaid's Tale are out.
Yeah.
So we watched that.
Right.
We watched a movie with Farrah. We watched the new Dumbo. We watched what the heck is the name of that movie? Something Park.
Oh, Wonder Park?
Wow.
Yeah, we watched
Wonder
that.
Park.
It wasn't
we
very
watched
good.
Wonder Park.
That movie was
I
trying
fell
really
asleep
hard to be Inside Out, I felt like.
I fell asleep 10 minutes into that movie.
Mike really liked it.
Like, we called my dad today for Father's Day,
Yeah.
and that was the first thing my daughter decided to tell him.
That's
She's
pretty
like, we
funny.
watched the Wonder Park movie, and Daddy was asleep like as soon as it started.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I tried to keep up with that when me and my daughter were watching it, but man, that movie was super, super excited to try to do something like Inside Out. And it just really didn't. They dropped the ball pretty hard, if you ask me.
What? No, I was asleep.
Yeah. I know that they came out with some new episodes of Black Mirror, but I haven't
Yeah, I
watched
saw
any
that.
of
We
it.
haven't watched them,
No, me
but
neither.
we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
I know we watched some other stuff. I just can't remember what it was now. Must not have been very good.
Very good week. We watched something super interesting, man. And what I found really interesting, I didn't know about until today. It was written by the guy that wrote The Hangover Part 2 and The Hangover Part 3. And
okay.
he wrote Scary Movie 3 and 4. And so I was not expecting this at all. But the guy, let's see what his name was here real quick. His name is Craig Mazin. And he actually was the showrunner for a little miniseries that came out on HBO called Chernobyl, which everybody's talking about.
I have heard about this.
Yeah, and we only unfortunately got to watch one episode, but oh my gosh, man, if you get a chance to check it out, it is really fascinating. And the level of incompetence that was being put on display by these nuclear scientists was really nuts, man. Crazy stuff. But
Interesting to know. I didn't know
yeah.
that. I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely do.
I watched a little. There's a series on Netflix called Losers,
I've heard of it.
and it's about individuals or teams that faced adversity and loss of competition, and then turned it around to a victory. And the one I watched was called Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Can you guess what that particular episode is about?
Wrestling.
Curling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it had to do
And
with
about
Steve
how
Austin or
one
something.
guy pretty much changed the game.
Really?
Yes. They had to change the rules because of this guy.
All right.
Yeah. I won't tell you anything else. You don't want to spoil it for
Okay.
those out there because curling is super interesting.
Yeah, it's really not, but
As I get older and as I enjoy beer more, curling becomes more and more attractive to me.
yeah, I don't like to be out in the cold that long, unfortunately. But
Well, I've always fancied myself some type of an athlete, but now I'm not athletic. And I feel like curling's kind of like right up my alley.
something that you could excel at and still be outside. But
Well, I don't even know if I'd be outside, but, yeah.
not have to really put forth any real effort into. So
I mean, it doesn't look that easy the way these guys do it, but, I'll give it a shot.
yeah, there you go. I'll curl with you, Mike.
Word.
As long as we're not talking about bicep curls. No, that's I ain't doing that. But yeah, we watched. Oh man, we watched something else today, but I don't remember what. It was some kid thing. Oh well, I don't know. Who knows? It was dumb, or I'd remember it. So
Well, let's wrap this mofo up.
that's it, dude. That is a wrap. Put this baby to bed.
Wait, what are we watching next week?
Well, Mike, this next week we are graced with the presence once again of Mr. Adam Sandler.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Do you dare to take a guess which one came out about this time?
I would take a hint.
I wipe my own ass.
Oh, Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy. So that's a good movie. I like Big Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm actually more eager to talk about that than I was about this. What the fuck is there to say about Tarzan?
Nothing wrong with Tarzan. There's just not a lot to say about it.
No, it's fine. But that's all it is fine. There ain't shit to say about it, you know? It's whatever. I'm sorry if you like Tarzan and this is your thing. I'm not even throwing shade at it, you know? This is a fine movie.
No.
That's all. So...
I'm not mad at Tarzan
whatever.
at all.
Yeah.
Just not a whole lot to say
I'm glad
about
you
it.
like it so much. So, if you do take some sort of umbrage toward the shade supposedly that we've thrown at Tarzan, you can email us at cheesymovie@yahoo.com, but please don't. You can also look us up on Facebook. Casino Royale with cheese, all separate words. You can check us out on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can look us up on Instagram. Or, what's the other one? YouTube. Casino Royale W Cheese. All one word. And I guess that's probably going to be it from me, Mike. I'm sorry to shortchange you guys. But
short and sweet.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Hey, before we get off the air, I want to say tomorrow I'll be attending the funeral of a woman named Candy. She happened to be married to a cousin of my wife's. And she was a super sweet lady. And... she died. I won't put out the specifics, but it was sudden and heartfelt, and we miss her. And all those who loved her out there, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
There you go, everybody. Well, on that upbeat note, Mike. No.
I had to say something.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm being sarcastic, but no, it's good that you put that out there. Good stuff. Anyway, I guess, with that said, that's probably going to do it for me, my friend.
That's all I got, brother.
All right, everybody. We'll make sure that you join us next week as we listen and talk about Adam Sandler's Big Daddy, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, stay safe and love the ones close to you, because you never know.
Never know.
Bye.
I'll be back.